We'll start with a little music. This poem is by St. John of the Cross, a 16th century mystic. I was sad one day. I went for a walk, and I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than that to help at times, to just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love that they don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. Lean back, shine the light on your fears, get to know them, love those edges, and travel hopefully, listening to the marvelous understanding. Welcome to Shelter and Grace, a sound meditation for a pandemic and beyond. It's brought to you by myself, Reverend Eleesabeth Hager, and San Francisco Unity. Here we shelter together and alone, in place every morning, or most mornings, Wednesday through Sunday, in our own homes to pause together, because meditation helps us pause. Prayer helps us pause. Our practice here is both prayer and meditation as one thing. It's a conversation with the holy. And that's a practice where we drop down to our private inner sanctums together because we're better together. We're better acting as one. Whatever you call that place, Kingdom of God within, Source, the witness, the observer, peace, home. We go there together. Our practice is to listen. Listen to that still small voice and then speak it into the world, because the world needs our voice. The world needs my voice. The world needs your voice. The practice here is to accept it all, just as it is, not making any of it wrong, suspending judgment of our thoughts and ourselves. That's a lot. That's why we practice. We use it all to help us. Spirit, words and poems and ancient wisdom, new wisdom. Today, we're going to, we're still paralleling the Salon, chapter 13, Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul. And we have help today from St. John of the Cross, which comes from this book, Love Poems from God, 12 Sacred Voices from the East and the West. Translation by Daniel Ladinsky. Amazing book, if you don't have it. As you can tell, I've used it a couple of times. So this effort is an evolution. As I said, I'm only doing them Wednesday through Sunday now, but you can always find them on YouTube. I have a channel and everything. But the goal is always this ongoing process and a practice, which is what Singer's talking about today. Actually, in all three chapters, which we're going over this week in the San Francisco Unity book salons, chapter 11, 12, and 13. To be awake to what is moving us, to clearly see our edges, and to be wise gardeners of our lives and of our world. The readings today, as I've mentioned, is chapter 13 with St. John of the Cross. We'll do the reading, I'll do the reading, we'll set an intention, and then we'll start the meditation. In Tuesday's meditation in chapter 11, I called it Only in Darkness Can You See. He spoke about pain as darkness, and that pain avoidance runs our lives. Our AA brothers and sisters have something to say about that. But it's about coming to peace with the pain, frees us to create a larger mental model of the world, relaxing into it so we can see it. And he says that fear is a small model and makes for small lives. And his antidote is to keep opening our hearts. The poem today is particularly good about that, about the rabbit, a rabbit in a field, by St. John of the Cross. In chapter 12, I called it No Defense. He continues more about our personal self and the need to defend our self-concepts as our precious models of our world, because we are afraid of the scary things in our experiences. We build walls, houses of our self-concepts, to keep us safe from that which we are afraid of. And our walls, then we make the walls and we patch the walls up, and it's a lot of effort to keep up those walls. But what we're patching in and walling up is our true self. We're making a prison of that, of our conceptions, and of what he calls the reality, what is and was and always will be, our higher self, the observer and the witness. Truth would be the term, and what he calls higher self and those self-concepts and the sansars, Unity might call truth. He didn't call it love yet, but I would also call it love. And he recommends, his diagnosis is, his prescription is for everyone to have a dark night of the soul, to get our heads on straight and see the light. In chapter 13, he says a couple of interesting things. He says that when our mental model is bothering us, it's because part or all of it does not fit reality as it is. If you don't, and he says this, if you want to go beyond your model, you have to take the risk of not believing in it. You have to take the risk of not believing in it. If you really want to see why you do things, then don't do them and see what happens. It's a pretty simple prescription. What happens is we hit our edge. We realize that these edge stories, when we get triggered or hit, we're able to see our model of the way we think the world works. And as Seth Godin says of these stories, the ones that got baked in deep before we knew we were in an oven. These are very deep, and to see them and to participate in that process, it's about continually shining the light on what comes up. The hopeful thing, which I'm adding here, is that it's not a circle, it's a spiral. We are making progress on our spiritual journey and seeing our stories and naming them and rising above them. We see more bits and breathe into them again. And a quote by Martin Luther King comes up. In seeing every human being, not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. It's a process, a practice of continually shining the light on what comes up, inside ourselves and in the world, and to love the edges as they show up. And that's the last thing he said that was so lovely. To love our edges. To love our edges because they show us, they give us guidance. In so many ways, we're the gardeners of our lives, and every moment we choose what to weed and what to feed. And like a garden, we are never done. Okay, let's take that in our intention today. I'll give us 3 bells from my beautiful Indian bell to think about that. And we begin. St. John of the Cross. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than that to help at times. To just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love that they don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. Lean back, shine the light on your fears, get to know them, love those edges, and travel hopefully, listening to the marvelous, marvelous understanding. Let's take our first breath of gratitude, maybe for the marvelous understanding, or glimpses of it. Let's take our breath of gratitude through the heart. Breathe it in. And exhale. Let's take another breath. Whatever is troubling you today, do a scan of your body. Actively send your breath and your gratitude to that place, to let it know that it is not, that the idea of being in dis-ease is not helpful. Breathe a breath of gratitude in now. Breathe it in. Let it light you up. And exhale all that is not yours to do in this very moment. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than that to help at times, to just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love that they don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. Lean back. Shine the light on your fears. Get to know them. Love those edges and travel hopefully, listening to the marvelous understanding. Lean back into the arms of this place of love, where you are supported. There is nothing to fear, and there is only spaciousness this place of the marvelous understanding. We remember this place of divine instinct, where we hear the voice of spirit, the witness, the observer. We remember this place with each breath. I'm going to end again with Hafez, I Got Kin, a 13th century Sufi poet. Plant so that your own heart will grow. Sing because this is the food our starving world needs. Laugh because it is the purest sound. Be the encouraging light we seek. With every breath, open again. Thank you for joining me today. If you want, there's still a couple of Unity salons, one this afternoon at 5 and tomorrow at 11. You can find the links on this Unity San Francisco website. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Stay open.